So here we go, back to this again. We are 5 days away from the HasLab Unicron backing system ending, which is going to end on New York Comic Con. But that didn't stop Hasbro from dropping some more stuff to reveal for this thing late in the game. So yesterday, as of this recording, when it was 6 days left, there was about 5,000, I want to say about 5,600 backers. And then overnight, woke up this morning, and it jumped to 6,800. So a huge jump, over 1,000 and some change of backers out of nowhere. And then on top of that, an addition of some new accessories and stuff on top of that. Now, supposedly these addition of backers are more international orders and stuff, and they're just doing it in groups. So, I mean, it's pretty clear that before this is all said and done, they're going to be past the $8,000 mark. Even if they didn't get it, I mean, again, the fact that they're showing us all this stuff, more additions, more stuff, you know, like if they were nervous and they knew this wasn't going to happen, they weren't going to do it, they wouldn't be showing us, oh, here's all this new accessories on top of it. And what are those two accessories? Well, remember how we got that rough-looking Galvatron accessory? That little mini Galvatron? Well, it looks like we're going to be getting an accompanying hot rod to go with it, or Rodimus, depending on how you want to depict it. Of course, it says here, hot rod, Galvatron, and another accessory we'll get to in a second, new in-scale figures. Now you could recreate the epic 1986 movie scene where Hot Rod defeats the menacing Planet Eater. So the thing about this Hot Rod figure, and you could really zoom in on it because it's a pretty HD photo, it clearly is an extremely downsized version of the Titan's Return, like Titan Master, Headmaster, Hot Rod, while holding his two guns. Here's the thing about the movie. Hot Rod didn't use no guns against Galvatron, his ion blasters, as they're called. He actually didn't use guns at all in the 86 movie. The Hot Rod sporting guns thing is mostly a Season 3 and Season 4 concept. Even though his original toy did come with guns, he used always just his wrist blasters, if you will, his tri-blasters. So I don't know why. Again, it's because they took that Titan Return mold, they put the guns in it, they molded it into one unarticulated minifigure, and that's that. I think it would have been better if the guns weren't there. It's me nitpicking, but I think it's kind of silly. And it also includes an Autobot Shuttle. Now, they say here in scale, right? And if it's in scale, then that means that Autobot Shuttle has to be smaller than Unicron's eye, which I doubt it is. So, again, when we're talking scale with Transformers, we can't really complain too much. But I mean, to boast an in-scale, new 2-scale figurines and Autobot Shuttle. The figurines are definitely to scale with the Autobot Shuttle. Don't get me wrong. It looks like it could work, I guess, depending on how you want to look at it. If you go back and watch the 86 movie, that front end of the shuttle looks like it could probably hold those two minifigs and a crew. But otherwise, like, it's not, that thing's not going to be smaller than Unicron's eye. Although the other accessory shown here, you get a special clear stand where you could put your Autobot Shuttle, your two little minifigs, which look ridiculously tiny compared to this stand, and then the top of the stand is to put your Unicron head. Now, I mean, I don't know who's going to use this. Let's be honest. I mean, you spent all that money, you're going to get Unicron, and you're just going to take off the head and put it on the stand. The only explanation I could think of is if you keep it in planet mode, and you take the head off before you put it in planet mode, and then you could have it displayed like that. If you're one of those guys that are going to have it in planet mode, then yeah, this stand makes sense then. You could kind of make use of it. But man, it makes those little minifigs look super tiny, like you could just blow and they'll just go flying and disappear behind the counter or something. But yeah, and then the last thing they show is the articulation of the hands and how it has 15 points of articulation from the original planned out 6 points. So it's going to have, like, you know, a knuckle joint, the inner knuckle, a double on it. So, hey, you're going to be able to have super articulated Unicron hands for when he, I don't know, reaches for his butt to grab some Dinobots, I guess. So yeah, that's some stuff. Hey, there's more extras. I mean, yay, I get a hot rod figure out of it. So me as a big hot rod guy, that's great. Although this thing's going to be tiny, super tiny. So that's cool. Yay. Anyone who doesn't want their extra hot rod figures, contact me. I'll build an army of them. Or maybe someone's just going to someone's going to start bootlegging these because they're pretty rough and simple. So I'm pretty sure you could mold cast these very easily in one color. Yeah. So what are we at? We're, as of 5 days left, we're 1,200 backers away pretty much. A little under that, 1,197. So it ends October 6th. It's going to be during the panel of Hasbro at New York Comic Con. And I assume this is it for the announcements of extra stuff, unless they really have something planned at the last second. I don't know what that'll be, but it's pretty clear that this thing is going to happen one way or another. The fact that they're showing all this stuff to us is yet another indication that they intended for this to succeed regardless, because they keep planning out little things here and there, even though they're so far away from the final backing. But yeah, it is what it is. And I mean, I'm backed on this, but I mean, I was backed on this from day one. I just want to get this. I've spent $500 on more in Transformers and gotten less in a lot of ways. If you ever go to my panels in the past about how money moves and collecting Transformers, you'd see how quickly we spend $500 and then some on just the first wave of a new line of something. So something like this for me, of a limited nature, of this size, of this iconic character, it works for me. And it might not work for everybody, and I totally respect that. I know there's a lot of people that are just not feeling this. And hey, if you want to sit it out, that's cool, man. You know, like it's better to put that money elsewhere. If you feel that $500, $600 is better used for, I don't know, some Masterpiece Beast Wars stuff, go for it. I love Masterpiece Beast Wars. So, I mean, if you want to put $500 towards, you know, Megatron and Dinobot and Primal or Cheetor, you won't get any hating from me, because I'll be like, hey, that's just as good, if not a better investment, in my opinion, for your own enjoyment, if Beast Wars is your bag, you know. But I grew up with the 86 movie. Unicron was a big part of the 86 movie. You know, 86 movie was me getting into Transformers, and it'd be just really cool to have this menacing figure. And again, I've spent more on Transformers, reasonably, of course, but I've spent more on Transformers, and I have my own reasons for why I'm getting this. People have their own reasons for why they are getting this, and people have their own reasons for why they're not getting this. And I mean, it just, for me, it's like if they would have not announced the shuttle and the two little figures, it wouldn't have really made a difference. I mean, hey, it's an extra hot rod toy for me, so that's cool. But I mean, as tiny as it is. But otherwise, I mean, I'm just happy with what we're getting already, and I know it's going to happen, so it's silly for me to say I hope it gets backed, but it's just a matter of time now. Let's just hope everything turns out great, and let me know what you think about these recent additions to the Chaos Bringer.